Hi there, welcome. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Debora Diaz. Welcome. I just want to ask you and just make a little comment about life and how things go. Sometimes we can never really predict life. Sometimes we never know when we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we need some direct contact with someone who really knows the law, family law. Debora Diaz is your woman that is going to be able to help you get where you need to go. And like I say, sometimes we just never know, right?
Life happens. You don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Now, you have been practicing law since 1995?
Yes.
21 years, family and employment law. And when we've talked in the past, I think when I asked you what got you started and everything, and was this a dream as a child? And you said you were always known as the debater.
That's right. That's what my mom used to say. You need to be a lawyer. You can argue the other point. So.
I love that. But all kidding aside, the one thing that I love about you, Debora, is the fact that you really do care about your clients. You know, when I ask you some of the major points, you were able to rattle it off to me very quickly. The fact that you tell your clients what they need to know, not what they want to know, right?
I don't use rose-colored glasses. They really need to know how their case will progress. And again, as I say, what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
Exactly. So when you meet with them, you find out what their goals are. Say somebody's thinking about maybe breaking up in a marriage. You sit down with them in a consultation and you talk to them about what they're looking to gain out of this whole picture.
I find out a little background, and then one of my questions is, what are their goals? Because I want to know what they're bringing to the meeting and what they think I can accomplish for them. Because realistically, I'm going to tell them if their goals are unrealistic. And I'll review the law as it applies to their particular case, and give them, no attorney can ever guarantee an outcome. We can explain the law and the potential time frame to resolve the case.
So that's good to know. Now, we've talked about collaborative law. Can you kind of define that for us?
That's an approach rather than to fight and win. It's to resolve and problem solve the case. It's a team approach to a divorce and to other issues too, but to the divorce, to children's issues, where the attorneys actually sign a non-litigation agreement. The attorneys that are part of the team, that each party does have their own attorney, but they sign this agreement. They will not be the attorney to litigate the case if the mediation, negotiations break down. The parties will have to get other counsel. So the attorneys go into, it's the mindset to problem solve, have the clients buy in to the process, and they have a larger voice. So you're not down this path of we're going to litigate and win the case. We actually want to problem solve and conflict resolve.
So that really sounds doable. I mean, that sounds like you're really looking to have that solution.
Really, and and it's a good way, but and even in cases that are litigation, I mean, that is my philosophy. I want to resolve the conflict so that people can move on with their lives.
Excuse me. Can you tell us your compassion and understanding? How does that affect?
Well, I've had thousands of cases. I understand that many times it's that person's first case. Emotions are part of it. They don't understand. So, my staff and I are there to explain the process and help them through it. Compassion and understanding that they, might not understand the case and how the courts work.
And how the courts work.
Yes.
So you give them that upper edge to, not only giving them that information so that they can either solve or move forward. And by having that background, it puts them sort of at a, I would say like maybe a higher level in the driver's seat, so to speak, so they feel more confident rather than just so, I'm going to go off and get a divorce.
Right. I mean, the courts are, you're going to, if you don't resolve it, you're going to end up, if you're going to ask a judge to resolve your case, that means there's a trial. And so you have an independent party deciding what your future is, deciding what time sharing you're going to have with the children, deciding how you're going to divide the assets. So it really is better for the parties, if at all, to agree rather than going to trial.
Absolutely. And knowing these things ahead of time, I mean, my goodness, we all know people that have gone out and decided, okay, I'm done with this marriage, and they don't go for any counseling. They go and they just go through the divorce. Some will do it on their own. And
Yes.
then after the fact, they find all these things out that could have been resolved, saved a lot of stress, right?
Yes, it's well worth it, definitely in any case, to at least at a minimum have a consultation with an attorney, especially when there's assets involved. Sometimes there's forgotten pensions and 401ks that people don't think about. When there's children involved in the parenting plan, it's much easier to get it resolved up front first before you have a final judgment entered. Then it's extremely hard to try to modify that.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you also work with families for temporary guardianship?
One of the areas that has really exploded in the last few years is it's this temporary custody issue of where grandparents are raising their children's children.
I've heard
Because
about
there's
that.
so much alcohol and drug abuse. We're talking about children in their 30s and 40s that have kind of checked out of raising their own children. So we're dealing with a lot of, the grandparents are raising the children. So we try to get through that process, get documents in place, try that it's not adversarial. Many times the adult child realizes that they're unable to and will voluntarily sign some documents. So it's trying to get that resolved so that someone can be in charge and have the legal authority to act on behalf of the children.
So in that family scenario, would you say there is hope for, say, grandparents out there and family members?
Oh, there's definitely hope.
So
there's definitely hope.
Some people just think there is no hope.
There's hope. That's why it's worth it for a consultation. There's a lot of people out there, you can get advice from a lot of different people. And I have a saying which is very popular out there: don't confuse your Google search with my law degree. Okay?
That's good.
That's not my original. I mean, this is true.
That is
a lot.
good.
You have to really check. I mean, go and get it from someone that knows.
Exactly. Reputable, like yourself.
Thank you.
This is not your first rodeo. You've been doing this for 21 years. But you know what I love about you, Debora, is you really do have that compassion, the caring, and you're courageous. You're willing to step out and step out for your clients. You're always there. You're always available. And that's another thing, is you don't have somebody just, calling back and going through the chain of people. You are there for your clients.
Right. The clients meet with me. They, I'm the one that discusses anything legal related to their case. They're going to know what's going on.
So that, to me, is worth its weight in gold, because so many people, everybody's busy. They're working, they're trying to make a living. In many cases, people are working more than 1 or 2 jobs. And then to add to the mix is family challenges that they cannot get worked out, and they know it's time to end and just resolve it, through the legal channels or what have you. There's another area that we were talking about, a service, which is the guardian ad litem.
Yes, I serve as a guardian ad litem. Many times I'm appointed by the court, and this is as a guardian ad litem for the child, not acting as an attorney, but acting as a voice for the children in the relationship that's breaking down. So it's interviewing the parents, maybe neighbors, maybe reviewing school records, and then giving a report to the court as far as looking at all the factors in the statute, as far as what what should happen with the child. It's a voice for the children, because you have 2 people. Again, the judge is sitting there, mom's saying one thing, dad is saying one thing. You talk about credibility issues. So when you have an independent third party appointed to be the voice of the child.
So that's really good, and that just rounds out your practice even
Yes.
more so, to show that you're willing to, take that position.
I understand the best interests of the children.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, if I hope I never need to call you.
I hope not either.
If you do have challenges, I think Debora would certainly, do you and your family well, because of the fact that she really cares. You're more interested in the needs of the family and care for them. You will meet with them in a consultation.
Yes.
And really give them what their options are. And what I love about you is you just lay it out and tell them what to expect.
Yes.
So if you are having challenges in your family, maybe you know someone, maybe a friend, a family relative that is going through some tough times, and you want to sit down and talk with somebody, just put the cards on the table. You want to call Debora, because Debora is the gal for you. I know she's going to do you right. You can get a hold of her through DeboraDiazLaw.com. You can call her at 727-846-802. I wouldn't hesitate, to sit down with a consultation, which is an affordable fee that you make for your clients. And I just want to thank you for being in this world. You're like an earth angel of law. So thank you, and good luck, continued luck in the community and with your practice. And like I say, give her a call, get in contact with her, and I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All
Enjoyed
right.
it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining
Thanks.
us. Hopefully that was very helpful and it'll make a difference.